Wow. Shabbat Shalom, 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 Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It is so wonderful to be with you here on this fantastic Shabbat. We hope that you are giving yourself the space and the energy to make whatever room you're in at home or elsewhere an extension of our sanctuary so that all of our voices will come together in the same place. We hope that you will lift your voices up along with us and pray along with us as well, as we say how good and pleasant it is that we can be together. Hine Matov.
Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
The candle songs.
And we continue as we welcome Shabbat, singing the poem that our people have sung to welcome Shabbat since the 15th century, thinking of Shabbat as a wedding, our wedding with the divine, the special wedding song, L'chadodi. Yalla la 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 l'chadodi, yalla la 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 likrat halah. Yalla la la la, Pnei Shabbat, Pnei Shabbat, Nikabela. Yalla la la la, l'chadodi, yalla la la la, likrat halah. Yalla la la la, Pnei Shabbat, Pnei Shabbat, Nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, ishmi'anu el ha'miuchad, Adonai echad, u'shmo echad. L'shem u'tiferet ve'litchilah. Yalla la 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 lecha dodim. Yalla la 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 likrat kala. Yalla la 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 b'nei Shabbat. B'nei Shabbat nikabela. Yalla la 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 lecha dodim. Yalla la 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 likrat kala. Yalla la 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 b'nei Shabbat. B'nei Shabbat nikabela.
And to light our Shabbat candles this evening, we have Mia Olivares, soon to be bat mitzvah.
In just a few, 12, 15 hours.
There you go.
Joined by her brother Matthew.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Amen. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Now, before Mia and her brother continue with the Kiddush, the Olivares family is moving right now, and they couldn't find their candlesticks. But I was asked to let you know that no little brothers were harmed during the filming of these blessings. Even though Matthew is holding the candles, he did fine. So good job, Matthew. And when you become bar mitzvah, even if you guys do have candlesticks, we're going to make Mia hold the candles by hand when you do your blessings.
It's also very biblical because our blessings are accompanied with the sounds of birds.
So I hope that we forgot to invite you to get your own candles. Hopefully you lit candles. And if you have something for Kiddush, we hope that you will take it as well as Mia begins leading us, and we'll continue all together.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who, finding favor with us, sanctified us with mitzvot. In love and favor, you made the holy Shabbat our heritage, as a reminder of the work of creation. As first among our sacred days, it recalls the exodus from Egypt. You chose us and set us apart from the peoples. In love and favor, you have given us your holy Shabbat as an inheritance. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pori hagafen. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine.
Amen. And we continue together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh bereshit, ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim. Ki banu bacharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava uvratzon, Hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
An artist cannot continually be wielding a brush. An artist must stop painting at times to freshen his or her vision. Shabbat is the moment when we pause in our brushwork to renew our vision. Having done so, we take ourselves to our painting with clarified vision and renewed energy. For each of us, for all of us, on this Shabbat, let us step back and admire the canvas. We rise, if you are comfortable and able, for the Baruch, our call to worship.
Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai.
Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, who creates the evening.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod, Malchuto Le'olam, Le'olam va'ed.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibartam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha b'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha uv'shartam le'od al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uchtabtam al mezuzot beitecha
ובשעריך, למען תזכרו, ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
The Israelites walked into the Reed Sea 1 foot at a time. What were they thinking about as the water rose up their legs, chilling their hearts, advancing towards their open mouths? We continue to walk here now, 1 foot at a time, on our better days forward. Alone, I cannot reach the far shore without drowning. Somehow I don't go under. The person to my right holds me up. Something I cannot see holds him up. Blessed is the source of help, so often unexpected. I step forward. The sea is vast.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות עושה ומרים, זה אלי ענו ואמרו, זה אלי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Nora tehilot oseh. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Amen.
The prayer that we traditionally say every night. This is the version that I sing every night with my children, that we've sung every night for almost 5 years now, before Eva's gone to sleep, bringing Judd in, and something that the music can bring peace and shelter to our evening just as much as the words. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom Leshalom Le'ha'amidenu Shomreinu Le'chaim Ufros Aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Ashkilenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom, Leshalom. Ve'ha'amidenu Shomreinu Lechaim.
The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from work and was refreshed.
Ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We rise now for the Amidah.
Adonai sefatai tiftach uvi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Ve'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Be'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'Konei Hakol, Ve'Zocher Chasdei Avot Ve'imahot, U'mevig Ula Livnei B'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Be'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atara Le'Hoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim. Somech noflim verofei cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, lishenei afar, michamocha ba'al gevurot, umidom melach, melech mimit umechayeh, Umatmiach Yeshua, Ve'ne'eman ata l'chayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehallelu Selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. We sing Shalom Rav, our song of peace.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki ata hu melech adon Lechol hashalom, Ki ata hu melech adon, Lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Tasim le'olam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam. Tasim le'olam. tasim le'olam.
At this time, we think of those many people in the world and in our lives in need of healing, our friends and loved ones who lie on beds of pain. At this time, in the midst of our holy congregation, here and afar, feel free to say the name of someone you're thinking of, someone in need of refuah shlema, complete healing. You can say it aloud or in your heart. And together, we'll sing our prayer of healing, Misha Berach.
Misha avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. I know that normally we would have a sermon after silent prayer, but I wanted to speak this evening before we pray in silence because I wanted to talk a little bit about silence. Pianist Arthur Schnabel was born in Austria in 1882, taught in Berlin, and escaped to London when Hitler gained power. He was a brilliant musician, and he was once asked how he handles the notes so well. The notes, he answered, I handle no better than anyone else. But the pauses between the notes, that is where the art is found. A similar quote has also been attributed to pianist Claude Debussy and re-emphasized by Itzhak Perlman and others. Perlman, who played much of the background music in the film Schindler's List, speaks about the drama of the silence in the movie, within all the music. Rests, he says, are so important because the rest gives you the tension between the notes. And the tension between notes is what makes things work. If there's no tension between notes, it may be very nice, but it doesn't work. Today was Rosh Chodesh Elul, the first day of the Hebrew month of Elul, the month before Tishrei, which is the month in which we celebrate Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Sukkot. Rabbi, that means we have 4 weeks to finish our sermons. Elul itself, however, is one of only 2 months in the Hebrew calendar that has no holidays. The other is Cheshvan, the month after our High Holy Days. So our calendar gives us 2 months of quiet, 1 month to prepare and 1 to recover. But Elul, at least as we're taught to observe it, is anything but quiet. I have a quick story for you. 18 years ago this morning, at least according to the Hebrew calendar, a much younger, less gray Joel Simon was woken up by a strange sound outside my window at what must have been 6 a.m., which was still pretty early for that young Joel Simon. I had just moved to Israel for my first year of rabbinical school, and I had no idea until that moment that it was custom to blow shofar every morning during the month of Elul. I would learn about it later that day in class. Now, it was kind of cool the first morning to literally wake up to the sound of shofar. It was even cool the morning after that, but not so much the morning after that, or the one after that, or all of the others after that. There's one day, however, on which shofar is not blown, Shabbat. And it was wonderful. Each Saturday morning, Shabbat provided the rest between the notes. The first time the shofar appears in our Torah is the day on which we received the Torah. In the book of Exodus, we read, "And on the third day, as morning dawned, there was thunder and lightning and a dense cloud upon the mountain and a very loud blast of the shofar. And all the people who were in the camp trembled. Moses led the people out of the camp toward God, and they took their places at the foot of the mountain. Now Mount Sinai was all in smoke, for God had come down upon it in fire. The smoke rose like the smoke of a kiln, and the whole mountain trembled violently. The blare of the shofar grew louder and louder. As Moses spoke, God answered him in thunder. And I thought the noise outside my window in Jerusalem was bad." According to the telling of the story later in Deuteronomy, the people heard God speak the first 10 commandments, but the sound overwhelmed them. And they pleaded with Moses to go up the mountain and hear the rest of God's law alone, to pass on to us later. Rashi reads the story differently, teaching that after the first 2 commandments, the people had had too much. And that was all that they actually heard. But the 18th century Hasidic rabbi, Mendel Sholem of Rimenau, tells the story even differently. The only thing the people heard God speak, according to Rabbi Sholem, was the first letter of the first word. And what was that first letter of that first word? Anochi Adonai Elohechem, God says. I am Adonai, your God. And the first letter of Anochi is Aleph. Silence. After all the thunder, all the shaking, all the noise, the only thing the people heard God speak was silence. To hear the Aleph, comments Sholem, is to hear next to nothing. It's the preparation for all audible language, but in itself it conveys no determinate specific meaning. In all of these examples, silence is only valuable because of the noise it contrasts. Silence on its own, as they say, can be deafening, but those rare moments of silence in a world full of noise can be so beautiful. Sholem said that Aleph was nothing, but I would argue that that silence was much more than nothing, it was everything. That silence, that Aleph, contained the potential for everything that was yet to be. Revelation, receiving the Torah, now has the possibility of being a very individualized experience, a completely internal moment in which we take the silence and turn it into whatever we need it to be. For Perlman, the Aleph contains the tension of wondering what that moment should be. Revelation, contemplation, silence should not be an easy thing. Reaching potential is rarely easy. But reaching our potential is exactly what we're supposed to be thinking about during this month of Elul, as we hear the shofar each morning, preparing us for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. We are living in a world that is full of noise. And I pray that in this month of Elul, we all may find some silence, a chance to breathe, an opportunity to reflect on what all that noise means. So now, we'll take a moment, perhaps a little longer than normal, for our own silent prayer, for our own contemplation, our own reflection. As we enter this month of Elul, thinking ahead to the new year, who have we been? Who do we hope to be? What noise have we made? And from a moment that is nothing but potential, what is the Torah that we will write with the way in which we live our lives in the coming year? Shalom, shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom, shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen. Oseh shalom, shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Now, after that beautiful moment of silence and beautiful moment of prayer, I'm going to lighten things up for just a moment, because as I was researching for today, I was going to go a different direction and talk about some issues with shofar this year. And one is that shofar is kind of dangerous this year with COVID-19, that when you blow shofar like blowing a trumpet or singing loudly, the droplets turn to aerosols, and there are people who are saying not to blow shofar at all this year, especially indoors. But others are saying that if you put a face mask over the end of your shofar, that just as it stops the aerosols from our mouth, that it would stop the aerosol from coming out the shofar. So I was pretty excited to see that. And then next is actually has nothing to do with COVID-19, but another way to potentially blow shofar this year was found by a TikTok user. And I have never used TikTok, but luckily one of my friends has, and they found this, and I don't think I really need to give it any more introduction, do I?
No.
Okay.
There are no words.
I'm sorry, I've been thinking about this all day, and I have to do it. Like, I have to.
Our RC lion, specifically this little guy, Kane, he thinks he's very
Tikia.
Hear it? I think Parker.
Shevarim.
She mixes up her shivarim and Trua.
Trua. Tikia Gedolah.
So there you go. Since I didn't want to blow shofar tonight and spread my aerosols to you, Rabbi Weiss, this was our shofar for tonight. Just in case you're wondering, we will have shofar for our High Holy Days. That is one piece. While we're going to be having services live in the sanctuary, there are certain pieces that we're pre-recording, and we will have our Ba'alei Tekiah come into the sanctuary. Dr. Zelanka, Dr. Freeman, both will be blowing shofar and will be part of our High Holy Day services. And we are not going to have them put masks on their shofar, because they'll be in here alone blowing shofar when they do. So there you go. Speaking of High Holy Days, information is going to be coming into your mailboxes soon with all of the information, how you can watch the services, when services are going to be. So don't worry, but I can promise you we are working really, really hard to make sure those services are extremely special. And we're also working really hard to make sure that everything we do is special and is a chance for us to come together. And that means we're going to be experimenting a little bit, and we're going to be trying some new things. And we're going to be doing some things that we were doing a little of, a lot more. And one of the things that we're going to be doing a lot more of is giving ourselves an opportunity to gather. And we're going to use Zoom as a place for us just to see one another, to say hi, to wish each other greetings, to share some stories. That starts tonight. After every one of our Friday night services, we'll be having a Zoom Oneg Shabbat. We're really going to try, outside of the High Holy Days, to only have 2 of us on the bima at a time. But the third will be at that Zoom Oneg Shabbat. So Cantor Canizaro is looking forward to greeting you after services. If you don't have that information, you just have to go to the website, www.zedek.org. It'll take you to the at-home website, and you'll be able to jump on our Zoom Oneg. Starting on Monday morning, every Monday and Thursday morning at 8:45 a.m., we'll have coffee and kavanah with the clergy. Kavanah means intent or focus. So each Monday and Thursday morning, maybe it'll be a prayer, a message of Torah, a song, a story, something to start our day, and then again, a chance to stay on the Zoom and schmooze a little bit with everyone as we begin our day together. So the Kavanah part will be streaming on Facebook as well. That will just be me, Rabbi, or Cantor, but then we'll bring it into the Zoom and let everyone visit together. That's every Monday and Thursday morning. And next Friday, this coming Friday, a week from tonight, we are having challah in the home. Challah in the home. They wouldn't let me put the C. They said you'd say chom. But it's challah in the home. We are going to begin at 6 o'clock, and we're going to have Shabbat dinner together. And we're going to use Zoom. We'll start with blessings all together, just as we've done in our challah in the hoods. And then there will be an opportunity to share dinner with friends, old and new. And you can request friends to sit with, and we'll put you in a Zoom room with those friends. And anyone who's looking to meet new people, we will put you with new people. And we are really, really looking forward to that. If you would like dinner delivered to you, Lynn Mollett, a good friend of the congregation, is preparing a Shabbat dinner that you can order and have delivered to your home. The link to her website is also on our website. The price that's listed is for a meal of 4, but if you'd like to order for 1 or 2 or 3, you just need to give her a call. I recommend ordering for 4 and then you have leftovers, but that's up to you. So that information is online. We will still have a service starting at 7 o'clock. It will be abbreviated. It will stay on Zoom, but once we get to 7 o'clock, we'll send that service to our website as well. That was a lot of information. Don't worry, it will all be in your email this week as well, or just give me a call and I'll go through the whole explanation with you again. Did I forget anything, Rabbi? I mean, there's lots. Make sure that you are spending time each week, maybe each day, on our website, looking at all the things that we're doing. A lot of you have been with us a lot, and we're so grateful. And for those of you who haven't tried being with us yet for anything other than services, I hope you'll try it out.
Yasher Kolach.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was not a lot of silence in those announcements, but that's okay. Our service continues now with Aleinu. If you're able, we rise at this time. Aleinu leshabeach la'adon hakol, lateit gedula leotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoye ha'aratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. May be seated. The light of life is a finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, life is kindled, it burns, it glows, it is radiant with warmth and beauty, but soon it fades, its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance, and our lives are full. But as night follows day, the candle of our life burns down and gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen. Yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives, we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. On this Shabbat, we remember those who have recently been laid to rest, those for whom we're in a period of Shloshim. Jordan Rosenberg, Elizabeth Berman Swede, Edward Epstein, Nancy Miller, Heidi Polsky, David Levin, Billy Mills, Florence Mandelbaum, Karen Holmes, Audrey Portnoy, Edward Stein, Albert Towell, and Dorothy Scott, and Leo Krawitz, who will be laid to rest this Sunday. We also remember those whose yahrzeit, the anniversary of whose passing, occurs at this time. Stanley Abrams, Cheryl Albert, Phyllis Borken Benware, Clarence Colin, Zach Crucy, Harriet Joan Simon, Paul Edenson, Alan Fleischer, Berkeley A. Flum, Rosalie Glagoff, Howard Lee Goldstein, Irving Gordon, Anne Fries Gross, Betty Grutman, Charles Herman Jacobs, Martha Persky Camper, Harold Kaplan, Arnold Kotler, Mark Kotler, Marvin Quitko, Mary Levetre, Ethel Levitt, Samuel Lotman, Jerry Marvin, Irving Masserman, Arthur Mendelowitz, Sharon Mendelson, William L. Menger, Gertrude Rakoff Moses, Stanford Newman, Bert Osiason, Ross Reback, Bernard Rhodes, Selma Schaefer, Ansa Lucia Shapira Myron, Irma Schoen, Rachel Leah Schwach, Shirley Silverman, Grace C. Smith, Melvin Stein, Samuel Stevens, Joseph Swartz, Nathan Tisch, Francis Fox Tots, Herbert William Weinstein, Fred Wolf, Ada Mae Wolf, and Albert Zuckerman. Zichronam Livracha, may their memory always be a blessing as we remember them along with all of our loved ones who are no longer with us, who, though unmentioned, are always in our hearts. With Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish, we thank God for having shared their lives with us as we remember each of them. We rise at this time. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach yerutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'vyomechon, u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal, shemei d'kudsha barichu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabam min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, as we say together.
Amen.
And now our closing song will be those same words once again at a time in which we are so in need of wholeness, of peace, of quiet. We ask that the one who makes that peace in the heavens will grant that peace to us as we join in working for that peace. We sing and we pray together. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Now, as you're getting ready for that Oneg Shabbat, hopefully joining Cantor Canizaro on Zoom, but whatever you do, hopefully one that is full of Oneg, full of joy, whatever it is that you're going to be eating, we sing together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Yeah. Oh. I was going to end with a big Yaseh Shalom, and then Yaseh Shalom, there it is. Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.